So we're not recognising a Palestinian state just yet. Winston Peters spoke to the UN Saturday, says now's not the time, though it will happen eventually. The government says they would first need to see Palestinian territory removed from control of Hamas, a return of remaining hostages, and established governance capacity within the Palestinian Authority. In other words, some elections and an actual government. David Seymour, the Deputy Prime Minister, was at the Cabinet table when the decision was made and joins us now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you. I know you can't talk about what happens in Cabinet. There's the Fight Club clause. But is it fair to say that all three parties were in general agreement at the beginning and the end of these discussions?
Yeah, I think it's shown the strength of the coalition. We've come together strongly around this. And I've been surprised at the number of people who've just quietly got in touch with me in the street, people who haven't been out protesting or sending rude emails or doing anything else up until now, but they've just been saying thank you. This is a triumph for reason and logic over rule by emotion and rule by the mob. We've stepped through logically what it would mean to recognise, who would we be recognising, what would we be encouraging, and would any good come of it? And we've come to the conclusion through reason and logic that this is not the time to recognise Palestine, even though New Zealand's policy in the long term is a two-state solution. It's not possible now.
Are you worried about blowback from Arab states, from Gulf states?
No, I'm not, because New Zealand has made its decision in a careful and respectful way. They, of course, have a lot to gain from having good relations with New Zealand, as we have a lot to gain from good relations from them. That doesn't mean that we can't think for ourselves and reason our way to a better position, which is what we've done, and I think they'll respect that.
Okay, and just to be clear, all three of you, at the beginning and the end of this process, all shared the same opinion that you share now?
Well, as you said at the start, you know I can't say that, and I know you know I can't say that.
I mean, what I'm asking is whether you were the deciding factor in this, whether you were saying, I'm not going to recognise.
No, well, again, I'm not going to get into it, because once you start doing it, next time you ask me, you'll say, why don't you do it this time? So,
was it anything to do with sucking up to the Americans or worrying about pissing the Americans off or anything like that?
Well, one thing I will say, and I think the Prime Minister said this as well, the views of the United States haven't been a major factor here. What it's been is, what are we recognising? How does it work? What happens next? We've actually thought through for ourselves and come to this conclusion.
Okay.
And I think that's why a lot of people are so happy and so proud of the government's position here in New Zealand, because it shows that we don't just have to follow the mob. We don't have to be ruled by emotion. We can actually think for ourselves and come to a better conclusion. Now, imagine if that sort of thinking broke out, what we could achieve.
The people that you're talking about will be throwing things at the television because you've just said, the mob, and you've said that basically they're a bit hysterical. So what do you say to those people who are going to be really let down, disappointed by a position?
Well, what I would say is, take the position that we've gone through. Number one, what are you recognising? Which boundaries? Which government? Number two, what are the implications of doing that? What are you rewarding? What sort of behaviour are you rewarding? And number three, what practical effect does it have on the situation? And number four, where is your concern about the likes of Ukraine or South Sudan? Unfortunately, this is one of several terrible situations in the world right now. Do you
think it's about TikTok and Instagram likes?
Well, I think social media has played a major role in shaping people's views. I think that it's been influenced by people who may not have New Zealand's best interests at heart, by the way, and I believe that
who?
Well, it's pretty clear that there's an awful lot of material out there that you have to wonder if that was just a standard person with their own TikTok or Instagram account, or if somebody's actually trying to influence how you think.
Like who?
Well, I'm not going to start saying who I think it is, but all I'd say to people who
it's a big call to make, though.
Well, if you're viewing social media, three rules that I always apply. Who is telling me this? Do I know? Why are they telling me this?
Are you saying you don't believe that there's starvation, that there's, horrible atrocities happening inside Gaza?
I think that there are absolutely terrible things happening inside Gaza. There's no question
starvation?
about that. I believe that there is starvation happening.
Right.
There's no question about that.
So they're not wrong, what they're posting?
What I would say is that we have a level of concentration of concern and a phenomena that has grown up around this conflict that you don't see for South Sudan.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not seeing it for Ukraine. And my question is why? So whenever you're on social media, who's saying this? Why are they saying it? And for this to be true, what else would have to be true? And if you start applying that, you actually come to much better conclusions.
All right. Hey, quick couple of things for you. I saw on Friday that AUT looks like they might be going to reverse their compulsory tikanga Māori classes for all students. Do you see that as a win?
I think you mean the University of Auckland.
Sorry, forgive me.
But the University of Auckland, yes, their Senate voted 2-1 to make this compulsory course voluntary. Their Vice-Chancellor has now come out and said the same thing. And this is, again, just a massive victory for people to be able to use reason and logic to get through their lives and make up their own mind. I have a huge admiration for what Māori culture can do. It's important to a lot of people. But I oppose compulsion in all its forms. And when you say this is mandatory, it's actually counterproductive.
Hey, very quickly, in fact, we have time for one-word answer. We've got the energy sector reporting back this week, the Frontier report. Would you say, in a word, our woes are the problem of the market or regulation?
Regulation. Sovereign risk has scared people out of building, and that's why we're poor when it comes to energy. What we need is a stable environment where people can invest, not the government coming up with a new crazy scheme every 5 days.
Or chopping up the gentailers.
Well, I'm not commenting on that, but we need stability, is all I'll say.
Deputy Prime Minister David Seymour.
Thank you.